Welcome back to Under Par, filmed live here at Cavaliers Country Club. With us today we have Pat Brown from Nike Golf. Pat, come on and say hi to everybody. Welcome, buddy.
How are you, buddy?
Good. Pat's our Nike sales rep for the Philadelphia, Jersey, and where else do you go, Pat?
Jersey, Northern Delaware, and Eastern Pennsylvania.
Perfect. Pat's coming down today, brought us all his golf equipment, all the latest that Nike has to offer. We got the new square driver that Nike has out. Had some of our members here hitting it today and enjoying quite a bit of success with it. Pat, tell us a little bit about what the technology behind that is and what's making that driver so hot these days.
Dave, what we've done is we've obviously changed the shape. It's a little funky. What we've seen with your membership is the first reactions are, whoa, wait a minute, this thing's crazy looking, and it's crazy sounding. The volume's turned up a little bit, but by changing the shape and the design of the golf club, we've made it more forgiving.
Right.
We're helping the average golfer take some curve off the golf ball, hit it a little higher, hit it a little bit straighter. We're kind of in a box in developing golf clubs. They won't let this shot right in the center of the club face go any farther than it does now.
Right.
So what we want to do is make all of these shots perform better. And then, the best way to do that is by changing the shape, moving the weight around to make the club head more stable on off-center hits. A different look, a different sound, but when it flies, everybody hits it well.
Yeah, it seems to go a lot straighter. I mean, I know a lot of the guys here that I saw hit it that normally curve the golf ball. It seems to straighten their shots out a little bit. Not only does it straighten their shots out, but they seem to be getting some added loft, which, I think almost every golfer needs. I mean, you go to enough of these demo days, I think higher is better as long as the golf ball's not spinning too much. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. One of the biggest faults of the average golfer is everybody's hitting it way, way too low. You have to hit it way up in the air, much higher than what you think is high right now. Most of the guys, like you said, are getting more loft out of this golf club, getting it up in the air, and that's where you're getting your distance from. It's carrying farther. If there's roll to be had, it'll get the roll, but you got to carry the ball a long way.
Yeah, I think I heard Pat say to somebody earlier today that the golf ball's worst enemy is resistance, and resistance comes from the ground. So we want to try to keep that ball in the air longer, and then also when the ball comes down, we want it to roll out too, which is a combination of getting the right launch angle and spin rate based upon the shaft that you're using. We talked on the last program about launch angle and spin rate, and we also talked about, you just mentioned some of the limitations on the driver as far as that we can't make it go any further off the club face. The USGA sets limits on the golf clubs. You look at that driver, it's supposed to fit any of the new drivers that are made, or actually any of the old drivers as well, have to fit in a 5-inch by 5-inch box. And it's just a box, 5 inches square, that the golf club head must fit in, according to the USGA. So that's going to limit what they can do size-wise. But shape-wise, as long as it fits in that box, we're good to go, right?
Yeah, we can get as crazy as we need to with the shape. Literally in 3 years, this thing's going to look normal.
Right.
We're all going to go crazy because, again, we can't make it longer. We can't make it bigger. Those are rules per the USGA. But we can move weight around. And there is a limit for that. And to get to that limit, which none of us are even close to right now, we have to change the shape. So very thin walls, very radical shapes, very loud noises, but much more forgiving drivers today than we had yesterday.
Louder's longer, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Drivers aren't the only thing you have with us today, Pat. Why don't you show us I was just hitting a couple of the fairway woods before you guys came to film the show. Fairway woods, unbelievable. Probably one of the best fairway woods I've hit. And what have you guys done with that over the last year or two to change that and make that a better product?
We tweaked last year's fairway wood a little bit. One of the dilemmas that we're faced with is when you look down at it versus last year's fairway wood, it kind of looks the same, but we've deepened center of gravity. We've changed the sole design so it glides across the turf. It doesn't dig into the ground if you happen to catch it a hair fat. But we've changed the face and put a lighter, stronger steel in the face, and it's a rocket. I mean, this thing, you hit it.
Yeah, I mean, it jumped right up in the air as soon as I hit it. And not only that, what I liked about it more so than some of the other clubs I've hit is it's, again, like your driver, very straight. The ball doesn't curve a lot, right to left, left to right. Pretty straight products, and again, another product that's very easy to hit.
Yeah, and that's the key. I mean, we build golf clubs for golfers who need forgiveness, and it's nice when PGA Tour pros, and we've got a ton of them playing our stuff, and it performs for them, and they're playing this fairway wood, that driver. But really, we're building it for guys who need help getting it up high and straight.
Yeah, and I think that's a huge part of our golf population, and
Yeah,
the easier it is to play, the more fun they're going to have. So
make a hard game easier any chance you get.
Yeah, absolutely. Pat, your company is really, relatively new, I would say, to the golf club market. But are grabbing. You told me earlier your club's going to grow probably, or your business is going to grow about 18% this year. Seems like obviously with Tiger Woods you have the name presence out there, but but your equipment, it seems to me, over the years continues to get better and better and better. And I think you guys, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to be that you guys are going to be one of the leaders here in the next couple of years going forward.
We like to hope so. We got into the golf game to be, a major competitor. We're a 5-year-old golf club company, and
right.
If you look at it, in comparison, at 5 years old, Callaway was selling hickory stick wedges.
Right.
So they've gone a long way over the years, and we'll certainly grow and continue to grow. But yeah, we're infants, and we've hit the ground running, and we're doing a lot of great things. A lot of guys on the PGA Tour, and the equipment gets better every single day.
Yeah, and it seems like you guys just keep continuing to improve. Why don't you pull a couple of your irons in real quick before we wrap this segment up, just so you can talk a little bit about the differences that are available there, and some of the things that you guys have coming out in the future.
We do have irons for every level of golfer. We have 2 new irons called CCI. There's a forged version for the better player. Most of our tour guys are in this iron. Beautiful looking, very solid feel, but obviously a little tougher to hit for that target audience. There is a cast version that's a little bit bigger, a little bit more offset, a little more perimeter weighting. So your 6 to 16 handicap kind of golf club gives you some workability, some ability to control trajectory, but still, if you miss it, your 4-iron, you got to fight and shot at hitting a green
Sure.
there. And then for the 15 plus, we have a carryover in the line, the Slingshot OSS. Hit me high, hit me straight. I mean, this
right.
is if your main goal in life is to really launch it high and have hit accurate iron shots, this iron does it. It's just nobody misses.
You guys have been building on that concept for a couple, 3 years.
Yeah. It's just as you've seen with our golf clubs, there's a lot of radical looks, but really everything in golf club design is get the weight as far away from the center of the golf club as possible to make it more forgiving. So big cavity. We have a slingback design that really pulls weight deep. So then when you hit on the heel and hit on the toe, the golf club performs better.
Gets up in the air.
Yeah.
Well, Pat, I appreciate you coming out today and bringing all your equipment, spending a little time to talk to us, and showing these guys around a little bit. As you guys can see, Nike has something for just about every, not just about, they do have something for every level of golfer, and they're continuing to improve on their products. So anybody that's out there looking at golf equipment ought to take a serious look at Nike. And Pat, again, thanks for coming out, buddy.
Thank you, Dave. My
all
pleasure.
Right, good seeing you. Have a great day. Again, Pat, thanks for your time, and join back with us in just a couple minutes for our next segment of Under Par.